again. Okay. And there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I see a couple friends there. First, I want to say welcome to a Reseller's Passion channel. I am Leslie Tucker, just in case you didn't know it. And I am super excited to be here with my good friend, Nicki. And in a few minutes, Nicki's going to introduce herself, but I want to say hello to a couple people that I see. Hunter Ryan, Michelle, and Daniela. Thank you for coming. I'm pretty sure more friends will show up. I love seeing everyone's face. I really love it. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys, I know it's a delay, and it's also a delay with StreamYard. If I were to open up my iPad, it would be a continual, but for some reason on the computer. So it's probably not even you. It's probably something that's going on. Tiana just showed up. Hello, Swag Slayer Fashion. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And I am going to let my guest introduce herself. It does say welcome, Nicki, but, actually, that's not even her name. It's like when I had to call Nicki's sister, and I was like, yeah, I'm a good friend of Nicki, and she's like, who? And I'm like, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm punking her, so like I forget that this young lady actually has a different name, her government name. So introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Everyone, my name is Chandra, aka Nikki, and Nikki just comes from my middle name, which is Nicole. I started an Instagram page way back when, and I was working at the sheriff's office, and I didn't want no one to know my first name because we couldn't go by first names there, so I just came up with the alter ego, which was Nikki from my middle name. I'm a mail carrier at the United States Postal Services, and then I resell part-time just to help pay off of debt. I'm on a debt-free journey, and I'm trying to become debt-free, so that's where my time is at. And that's a little bit about myself.
Not only is she trying, she's doing it. I want to say, hey, Denali, thanks for stopping in. Hey, Quimby, thank you so much. I see you there. And not only you're not only trying, you're doing. And that's how our association grew. And it's not to say that I don't have time for people, but we do get busy in our lives. So sometimes we might get introduced to people and then they pass us by. But then sometimes we meet like people in our lives that just make us like stop and stand still and pay attention. And you're one of those people for me. You've truly turned into my little sister. And I just like enjoy you immensely. It's been a challenging year for you, but I will say in the midst of that, you have held your head up high and held your shoulders back, and you are just looking straight ahead towards your goal. And I'm pretty sure you trip and fall on occasion, and that's what we do as humans. But I admire you so much, and I want to say that publicly. I admire this young lady so much. So tell everybody how we met. I'm going to piggyback off of that, and then we'll go a little bit further.
Well, when I started reselling, I was just looking for, different people that could basically give me some type of advice on where I should start, because at that time I did not know what I was doing. So I started watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos. I came across a whole bunch of people. I reached out to people and no response. So I came across Leslie's YouTube channel, and I started binge watching all of her videos, and then the videos just stopped. So I went over to her IG page. And I was like, okay, well, are you going to be releasing some more YouTube videos? And she was saying that her videos was now on IG, that I could watch them there. So I did start, looking at them there, and I started just showing up in her community and liking her posts and commenting on her posts. And then I just said, okay, well, I want to do what she's doing. I want to go live, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Yeah. And she was just like, well, just do it. Just do it. And then I just did it.
Yeah, the thing that I like about Nicki, and I think it's really important for us to understand that when we build relationships and we have associations, that we do want to hang with people who are going further. Sometimes there are things that make us hesitate and we stay still for a little bit, but you yourself want to hang with people who are one going to motivate you and push you, and you be able to motivate them. So I'm so thankful that Nicki reached out to me, and not only did she do what she said she was going to do, she wanted to go live, but she started teaching these budgeting techniques from her own personal experience. Like I said to myself, who, first of all, who is this person? Because I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone, but I want to say that as a culture, Black people don't really talk about money. So when Nicki she revealed her whole income. So for people, if you don't know Glow Girl Glow Nicki, check her out on Instagram. We're going to talk about some of the other things that she's doing, but she lays everything out on the table. And that is very rare for someone to do, for her to be so transparent and revealing herself like that. And that's what I like. Just like normal talk. She wasn't doing anything fancy. She's like me, a pen and some paper. I'm like, oh my gosh, like we can roll now. We can roll. And she showed up consistently, and she did all the things that she said she was going to do. And I'm going to say hello to a couple people in the chat. Thrifting ain't easy. Hello, Domingo. Thank you for showing up. Hopefully Domingo will be on soon. Domingo is local. He is actually good friends with Thomas. I think they met at our local Goodwill outlet, which is the Bins. So he is also a pastor here in the state of Delaware. The Grateful Queen, she and Torvald are over there baking. Yes, I'd love that. And discount deals for you, who is Brittany, Our Heart's Delight. Thank you so much for joining us. Lizette just showed up, New England. Betty Boop, hello, friends. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day. There's Dresden Avenue, who is Margaret. I don't want to forget anyone, but as we get wrapped up in our conversation, things are going to happen. So Hunter Ryan is saying, Leslie, a reseller's passion, you do put out all the positivity and the love the amazing people that we are getting to meet, because you just naturally bring them in. I think it's really important if you just show up as your true authentic self. Oftentimes we're trying to figure out what should we say, what should we look like? Oh my gosh, I don't want to do this because society is saying. The first thing I would say to anybody is, if somebody's not paying your bills, then forget about what they think about you right away. Forget about that. If they're not coming into your house and taking care of all your income, like Nicki's budgeting, if she had somebody that was coming in like a manager and was like, girl, do this, do that, and here's all the money, then she probably would show up with the lipstick and the makeup on, and but other than that, if no one is taking care of your household needs, then you should not be concerned about them. And I can tell you that I don't have a lick of makeup on. I've got acne. I am bald. It is natural. I have alopecia, which is an autoimmune disease. So it's hair loss. It will not come back. No, I'm not wearing a wig. Yes, I'm comfortable with how I look. If you're offended, I'm not going to apologize because I know who I am and I know whose I am. So that's really the key. Right. So let's just get that out the way right now. Okay. So Our Heart's Delight. Oh, I love it. She says, my government name is Zelda. Hey, Zelda. I like knowing government names. When people meet me, it's a lot of people who know me from the Bins. Somebody just told me how they met Thomas last week and was wondering where I was. But when I meet people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm so-and-so on Instagram. I'm like, sis, just tell me who you are. I love it. Like, you can't connect if I don't know your real name. Like, hey, discount deals for you. I can't do that. It's like, Brittany, what's going on? So Nicki. Tell everybody a little bit about, you've been on here before, you've been on the podcast, but your community is building, is growing. There are people who are my community that are new and they may not know who you are. There are, people on here, everybody should be giving a thumbs up and subscribing and setting the reminder for future videos. But tell us a little bit about why you started your budgeting. Or should I say, I guess they go hand in hand. So however you want to tell it, how did you start reselling? And then how did you start budgeting?
Okay, well, in July of last year, I lost my mom. She didn't have any savings. I didn't have any savings, and she didn't have any life insurance. And I was just in a position where everyone, where my family was, they was looking at me because I'm like, okay, well, you work at the post office, you the one with the money. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have any money. And my dad wanted me to take out a loan. I actually applied for the loan and got approved for the loan, but I was looking at the payments, and I know how my family is. They will say that they're gonna pay me back and help me with the payments, but I was gonna end up stuck with that bill, and that was like a $500 expense along with everything else I had going on. So I sent out a group message to all of my friends, everybody that I knew in my phone at the time, and they showed up for me. So they donated money where we didn't have to take out any loans or anything. We were able to do everything with the amount of money that they had given to me, and then some. So I said, you know what, it's time for me to get my finances in order because I'm getting older and I don't want my kids to go through the same thing that I went through with my mom. I didn't want them to do that with me. So I started to just start looking at my debt, and then I said, you know what, my debt is more than my income, so I need to make some more money. And that's where the reselling came to play. And I started reselling, and whatever I made towards the reselling, I would just put towards debt.
So how did you find out about reselling? Did somebody talk to you about it? Did you hear about it? See a commercial?
Well, I already knew about reselling because when I had my son, I was already on there. I was selling his old stuff that he grew out of, and then I was actually purchasing things for him because he was growing so quick when he was a infant. But I was never really taking it seriously. So I was just only on there to list his items that he grew out of, and then just to buy more stuff for him to wear at that time.
Yeah, that's good. And so when did you think that that would be like, Denali, thank you so much for the super chat. I take all contributions in the form of super chats. I am monetized now. Whoop, whoop. And so I also have a group, a membership group. We're going to be doing some fun stuff like how Quimby is over there baking. I'm going to be baking and cooking and doing some stuff. People have been asking me for an ebook. I have to think about it. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Lizette is demanding that you give me some thumbs up. So when did you think that that would be the way to go for you? Just based on what you were already doing, and you just said, well, let me just see how far I can go with this?
Well, when I started in January, I actually got on there because I was trying to make a little money to pay for my son's school expense. He was in private school at the time, private pre-K, and it was $140 a week. But being a new reseller, I wasn't, making $140 a week starting off. And I was, I was getting down. I was, sad about it. I wasn't making $140. So I said, you know what? I could just use whatever I'm making and just put it towards something else. So I started focusing on one debt at a time. So I said, okay, well, I want to get rid of this car note. And that's where I started putting the money towards. So I started being more strategic with it. And basically, I just went back because I only started putting it towards my car note in April. So I started going back and I started seeing, well, how much am I really bringing in every month? And I just went with that low amount. And then I said, okay, well, this is enough to actually make an extra payment on my car and have it paid off by the end of the year. So that's just what I focused on.
So yes, I'm gonna jump forward to that because so in April, what was your car note? What was for people who don't know that's that's her car payment, her car note. Yeah. I know what a car note is. In fact, did you know what a car note is? It's not a balance, it's a car note. So in April, what was the car note? And then tell everybody what it is now and how many payments you have left.
In April, it was around $7,500.
You said $7,500. Wait, because you have a delay. So she said $7,500 in April. And what are you saying it is now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's around $3,800.
$3,800. So in April, that's $7,500. Right now it's $3,800. And then you're in my private group, so I know this information. How many more payments do you have until your car is paid off?
Well, I haven't really broken it down by payments, but I'm trying to have it paid off by the end of the year. So 3 more payments.
Okay, so I was going to say she's not trying; she's going to do it. So I'm telling you, when I speak life, I look, y'all, you laughing at me. It is a done deal. I speak life. I only speak life and truth into people's lives. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what we're here for. We're supposed to support you from April to now, and now you're doubting yourself. No, you got this. You got this. And then the other thing is like, how does it feel that you are paying for MJ's private school and now he's virtual learning? So like, how much did taking that payment away help you?
It's helping out a lot because private school was $540 a month. So now I'm able to put that extra towards, the car plus what I'm making on the side with the reselling. So it has taken a whole chunk off my plate because I was making those payments by myself at one point of time.
Yeah, that is, first of all, that's a beautiful thing. And I wanted to touch on that because her son MJ, he's a kindergartner and he's virtual learning. And so it took away that private preschool at $140 a week. That is a lot of money. I mean, to me these days, preschool, that's college. I used to work at one of the top preschools here in Delaware. And I was like, whoa, they were paying for what my daughter is actually paying to go to college as a freshman. No lie. And people need that daycare. They can't sacrifice. So I think that's phenomenal. I'm going to say hi to some people in the chat. Thank you, Michelle. I love you so much. I appreciate you. Rosalind is here. Hello, Rosalind. But I wanted to go back. Y'all funny. So I wanted to say, yeah, so she said, my government name is Holly. Hunter is her son. So we got that. And Holly is spelled the same way. I have a sister named Holly. So I wanted to touch on that. And everybody's putting their government name out there. There is Denali El Ducho. Yes, definitely. So, okay. Thank you so much, Domingo. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everyone. Yes, yes. Nicki, you got this, friend. I'm telling you, she is doing this thing. Okay, so now you're budgeting, like you are going live. Well, this is the thing. You wanted to go live. Now, was your initial goal to go live and talking about budgeting? Was that your goal? What was your intention when you decided to get on IG and go live?
Yeah, that was definitely my goal. And then once I started going live, I was having people tell me that I shouldn't do it. But I just felt like I needed to talk about that because, I wasn't seeing other people in the community and, in my community talking about that. And I felt like I needed to be that person speaking to that other maybe single mom that doesn't have a way to pay off for her debt or maybe pay for her kids' schooling. And I just wanted to show that you can make a little bit of money over here doing some reselling to help, pay off debt or pay for your child's school or something like that.
So for people who aren't currently following you and that will be following you after we're done here, where can they find you and when do you go live?
So on Girl Glow on IG, that's GLO, Girl Glow on IG. And I go live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Consistency is the way to go. We talked about this, Nicki and I, and it happens when you first decide you want to go to live. We all do the same thing. First of all, we have to be brave enough and I'm gonna go live. And you might just pick a day just so that you can just do it and get it out of the way. But if you have a conflicting schedule or something like that, you have to pin down a date and time, right? And we talked about that. And I think Sunday is a really great day. People have, they're done with Saturday, they're relaxing, maybe getting ready for the week. Their children are kind of calm, most probably by 8 o'clock, and we're talking Eastern Standard Time. And it's still early enough for our friends who are on different coasts, right? So that's what I like about the time slot that you picked. And then when I feel so inspired, which happens lately, I can jump on at 9 o'clock, which is my normal time, and continue where, because you seriously, you give me such feelings. Last week, Nicki was saying stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't going to go live. I was tired. I was looking a mess. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can go live. They can't see me from the neck down. So I'm just going to keep, I'm good. I do have one, Nicki loves it when I talk about my bra. So I do have one today. But behind the banners and everything, you can't tell. So I love the consistency. So now you're going live and you're part of a community. How do you feel about this community embracing you the way that they have? And they embrace you because they love you. How do you feel about that?
I love everyone in this community, and to know that people, some of them that I haven't met in real life, to just show up, and even the ones that I didn't, like Lisette, just giving her a shout out. She drove all the way from Massachusetts to come all the way down here to Atlanta to see me and be with me and to love on me and all of that. It just amazes me because I have people that are here every single day that don't, call or don't, show up and say anything. So to see people that I just met this year show up for me in the way that you guys have shown up for me has been wonderful.
Yeah, I told you, I said, when once you came to my group, you found a tribe. And I think that, and it's not just me. I mean, it's aside from me, but it just kind of started the ball rolling because I didn't know that I was going to have you in my group, like as so many, but it's something about people that inspire me. And I just think that all of us being together, that we can inspire each other. So I love that close-knit group. And, you just went through some things this year. You can either share or not, but I love the fact that everyone was there. And that's what I tell the group. I mean, I wish our chat could fit more than 6 people. I really do. But when that chat rings, if you can jump on and, if you're not feeling good or if you need somebody to talk to, the time zones make it so easy to just somebody's going to be there. So I think that's really pivotal. I want to say thank you, Brittany, who is Discount Deals. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, friend. And Daniela, who is my good friend. When are you coming back on, Daniela? Thank you. Coffee money. Yes, I could totally use that coffee. Mwah. Daniela and I have been hanging strong. Going on 2 years. No, a little bit of time. Let me see who else. Just making sure. Yes. All the support we can. So it's like the Grateful Queen. Ooh, are you opening it tonight? I want to do a little FaceTime so we can do an opening. Hey, okay, Miss Quimby, I see you. Yes, Domingo. Consistency is definitely key. So now you're doing your budgeting, and what have you, from just going live, you're in the group, you're in the community, you're teaching your budgeting. That's what you initially started. Just from that, what have you done from the time we met in February to now? What are some of the things that you've rolled out?
I wrote out a budgeting worksheet, a planner, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's that's great. We have to applaud ourselves, because it is like I feel myself like always telling the story, because if you're in my group, I got you. Don't tell me. You better keep it a secret. Like with the birthday thing, if you don't want me to know, y'all better keep that a secret. I really just think it's important because we sit on things, so you have to have someone that you're accountable for. And I have people, like I can send a message to Daniela, and Wendy is like, she'll stay on me. Like at least every couple of weeks, she'll be like, what you doing? You good? And so you have to have people that you can be vulnerable with, and you can share your story with, and you're not afraid to share your story and not afraid to give some things away, because not everybody is your person to give things to. And that's why I talk about that kind of stuff all the time. Don't be afraid to charge, and don't give everything away, because if somebody wants it, they will pay for it. You give them a little bit of free information. Like I said on Rhonda's chat yesterday. Did you watch Rhonda's chat? When I said everything that I have for free is here on YouTube and on the podcast. So when I start charging, you can either buy it or you don't, for our reselling community. And that's why I'm heading towards the mainstream, because people who are not resellers, they pay for my stuff. My ebooks sell. I love the community for supporting that, but I give you all the free nuggets right here on this channel. and on YouTube and, through my feed and my IG and my podcast. So that's all the free stuff. So if you like, oh, wow, she's charging, it's okay to do that. All these people who are coming up with courses and stuff, you don't have to buy it. Somebody's going to buy it from them. And so don't be like, oh, I just did a little something. No, to me, that's huge. I think that's phenomenal because you weren't even motivated to kind of go. You were just kind of like, I don't know, because you probably weren't really confident in yourself. And then the group, we built you up to prove that you can do it. You're worthy. You're worthy. And that's how everybody's worthy. That's why I always say, you're worthy. Thank you, Holly. Hello. Will it work this time? Great showing the struggle and the cheers. So you've created a budget planner, right? And it's eligible. I mean, it's available in Etsy. And I'm going to put the link in. I tried to put the link in and it was a broken link earlier and Nicki fixed it. So the link will be available once this goes live tomorrow. It takes about 12 hours to buffer. So usually about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the video will be available. So if you've missed the beginning, and then I will put all her links are in there so you can find her. But tonight you should be searching for her right now. And if you're watching me on a computer, you should be, on your phone, following her. So if you don't follow her, seriously, because I don't spend my time on just anybody. I love Nicki. She encourages me and she inspires me. She's been through a lot this year. And to say that she's over anything, I know that she's not. But what she's doing is, I told her just before we came on, and I always want her to know how proud I am of her. Like we're not blood. We just met in February 2020, but the love that I have for her is there, and the support that I have for her is there. And we have a great community, which is support. And so we have to let people know how we feel right now. And I am always here for her, and I appreciate the trust that she gave me. And so we just really just have to lift each other up. And I want her to know that she can do anything that she sets her mind to. And you guys know I get into my preachy moments and I try not to do that if I can, but I think it's really important for us to hear that. And if we affirm ourselves every single day, I show gratitude every single morning before I get out of the bed, and I have self-affirmations that I speak to myself. We have to pour into ourselves. And then it's also extra special when people start pouring into us. When, you get friends like Daniela and you get all the ladies in our group constantly saying, I know I told Nicki the same thing, Terry. I love that shirt that she has on. Hello, Terry.
Thank you.
So you said they need, Domingo says he needs some, he needs some cookies. well, set a date when you're going to meet Thomas and I'll make some cookies for you. Domingo, don't even get me started, okay? These ladies they hear from me every single day. I do my Sunday sermon, like I do end at the end with a long little thing. So tell us now, you have released your budget planner. What is your goal? What's your next step now? You're working on some things, but what I want to tell you, as we've talked about this before, only release the information that you know for sure you want to share, because everything is not ready. If everything's not ready, just release an idea of whatever it is you want to share. What do you want to give to the community?
Well, I eventually want to do some coaching. I want to put together like a group coaching inside of a Facebook group, and I want to help people pay off debt, save money, and that's about it. But I'm just taking it a step back because I was going to release it in January, but I feel like I'm moving too fast. I got a lot of things going on. And then December is my most busiest month at the post office. So I know I'm not going to really have time to put towards it. And I just want to be present in my group. I don't want to just put it together and then just disappear. So I'm just taking a few steps back and try to really sit down and plan it all the way out and see how I want to actually do it and run it. But that's my plan for next year. Sometime next year, I want to put together a private group where I'm putting together like a group of people that I'm going to be coaching, as a group. And we're going to be just working on paying off our debts. And we're going to be saving some money for all of 2021.
I love it. Yes, Nicki is doing what I did, because I started a private group, but I was like, you know what? I'm not ready for that yet. I already know what I want, but then some more clarity will come later. So I'm just going to focus on what I'm doing right now because I was doing too much. And I was expressing this to her. Like, she works, she still has 2 children. Her son is learning. She works for one of the busiest places in the government right now. She works for the Postal Service. And like she said at the beginning of the year, it's going to get crazy. It's about to get crazy with the holiday. Regardless of what the world looks like, people still going to shop. People still going to celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving coming. So yes, you have to allow yourself grace every day. You know, you really, our minds work really fast and we want to do so much, but we can't accomplish right now and everything. So if we take that one thing and focus on it, just focus on one thing, you know, and if it's or 2 things right now, I'm going to work. So work will be that thing you're doing. But that other one thing, if it's reselling and going live, do that because you do have digital products. You have things that will continue to sell for you. You know, I say sit down, look, write an ebook. It took me 2 weeks to write an ebook, and I've sold, gosh, I just calculated today. I've made over $7,000 on my ebook. So I wrote it in February, and so there's possibility for everything, and you set it and forget it, and it just sells. And I have 2 ebooks now, and they're bundled together, and I'm working on some new things. So you just figure out that one thing that you can do, write it out, then go to the next stage, and go into the planning stage. And then now write a little bit more, like you were talking about, get into the graphics or whatever. And next thing you know, bam, like, because you already have it. Like what Rhonda said to you was true. Wendy said the same thing to me, that I am reinventing the wheel and I already have the tools. She said, literally just go back to some videos and play them and start writing some stuff. Bam, we all have an ebook inside of us. Like Terry can write an ebook on stocks. You don't have to be a professional. See, Dave Ramsey is a man that was birthed the same way we are all birthed. So stop thinking that somebody else is better than you. That is not the truth. I'm here. I'm Leslie Tucker. Yes, I'm a reseller's passion, but my mom and dad came together. I was born and I lived my life, and bam, here I am. So stop looking at my numbers. Don't look at people like that. Don't worry about what other people are thinking. Don't worry about what they have more experience. The person or the people who are meant to buy your items will buy them. If you build it, they will come. And I believe that 100%. There's enough for everyone. And you're going to speak to someone, because I can't relate to Dave Ramsey. Nothing against him. Thomas can listen to him all day. But after a while, I'm like, yeah, dude, that's just because my personality is not like that. So I gravitate to people who I can relate to, who are saying it. And what I like also is simplicity. I don't like how he talk to people sometimes. So I've been beating one off. I like simplicity. I like you treating people with respect. And the way that you come, like you just talk. And I'm like, sometimes I'll come on late and I'll go, okay, well, she's not showing her face, but she's into the numbers. So I love that, And so you were saying last Sunday when you went live that you still get nervous when you go live. What is it about? What makes you nervous? You're not nervous now, are you?
No, I'm nervous right now, but I don't know why I get nervous when I go live. I guess because I don't want to make any mistakes or I guess stumble over my words. I just want to always be prepared. And I just know life is, nobody is perfect. And I just continue on showing up as myself. But I just get nervous because I don't know. I just want to make sure people are understanding what I'm trying to say, because a lot of times I'm thinking that, okay, well, I can understand it, but I don't know how I'm putting it out there are others understanding it as well.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. And as I said last week, first, I'm going to hold that thought. I want to say, hey, Chrissy Blocker, Chrissy from Philly. Thank you so much. Girl Meets Thrift. Oh, thank you so much. There you go, Nicki. And yes, Quimby, 100%, because Quimby, if you guys do not follow Quimby the Grateful Queen, you should be following her on Instagram and subscribing to her YouTube channel. Are you going live tomorrow, Quimby? I love coming on Thursday because I can ask you that question. She has a great reseller chat. It kind of started off as her doing haul videos, but we were talking so much. She talked so much to the community. She couldn't show the stuff she was trying to haul. So now it's just like a community chat that comes together on Fridays. And I don't listen to everyone, but Quimby has like such a soothing voice, and she tries to get to all the comments and everything.
Mhm.
And she definitely is very positive. But during the day, she's a psychotherapist. And she came on one time, like especially right after Nicki went through her challenge. And Quimby, she gets this face. And I was like, how can Quimby be a psychotherapist? That was in my mind. Because she's so like perky and everything. But then when she was talking about something here, she was like, I was like, okay, I see it now. I see it now. So she has so many great videos, so many great haul videos. Definitely check her out. Definitely give love. Everybody should be dropping their handles where anyone can find you here. I don't mind. You can spam the comments because we should be a community as one, and everyone should be supporting each other. Everybody's ventures, subscribe to people's YouTube channels. Definitely, let's just always keep the love going. It says, is there a master ebook writing class I can get in? We can do that in the Zoom chat, and I can tell you like the steps. Actually, I was going to do a video tomorrow. That's going to be my video on how to write an ebook. Something simple. I started taking notes. It's not like a big deal. You already take what you have. And listening to you today, Brittany, this is discount deals for you. She's Brittany. You should be following her on Instagram. She was just live with Liz Perfectly, and she has a lot to offer. Her story is longer than I knew that it was, and I would definitely say check her out. Okay, so many friends here. Hi, Diana. Thank you for making it. Daniela says, I do get nervous. Nah, ask Leslie. I love to open up to people, but I get nervous. First of all, I did not know that. If you guys do not follow Daniela, you can follow her here under her name right here on YouTube, or you can type in Chronicles of a Reseller. She is also Ivy and Blush Bottega on Instagram, and she is co-host of Thrifters Villa podcast. That is a mouthful. And if my husband was here, he would ask me how I know that. I know the people that I hang with and the people that I follow and the people that I commune with. Terry, thank you, friend. Wait, I thought I clicked that, but bam, thank you so much. You guys are giving. I'm going to have coffee and I'm going to be buzzing all over the place because I am getting my coffee. That is for sure. And you should be following always. Everybody, but drop your handles in so people can find you. Yes, I'm definitely going to be doing. Yes, Quimby, I'm definitely going to be. That was actually my video for tomorrow. I was just going to just give you some steps on how to, because literally my plan for an ebook was like a 3-month plan, but I wrote it in 2 weeks and I sent it off to people to edit for me, and they brought it back, and I actually just redid the ebook. So it's so much better, and I doubled the price, and it's still selling. So because it's actually more streamlined and a little bit better. So I'm actually going to be taking that and chopping it up to courses and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother story. So you talk a lot about how you want to impact, especially like moms. One, I want to tell you you're impacting everyone. But I want to find out what it is about moms in particular that has your heart and why you want to impact them and teach them about budgeting.
Because I was a single mom, I am a single mom. So I just feel like a lot of times us single moms don't think that we can do certain things, that we have to depend on the government, or we have to be a part of a statistic. And I'm here to tell you that, it can be done, and just you eat a cookie a little at a time. So just a little bit here and there, and then
you stole my line.
Way to being debt free. Yeah, I did. I did steal it. I did, but that's the truth. That is exactly the truth. Because I've been putting a little towards the debt, and then when I'm able to make a larger amount towards it, I'm able just to put that large amount towards it. But what I'm finding in my community where I live is a lot of us want to look like we have money, but we're really broke. And there's nothing wrong with being broke. Being broke is only temporary, but I just want to, how can I put this? I just want to live on less than what I'm making and actually have the money there. Like, I don't want to be walking around looking a certain type of way and, don't have anything in my banking account. So that's just me.
Yeah, this is funny that you said it. Thomas and I were having this exact conversation today, and oftentimes I can't speak of any other culture, even though I have friends in other cultures. I can only speak culturally. That growing up in the city of Philadelphia, I knew so many people who were living way beyond their means, where they had no means, and they always had that, they had the
Right.
hair did, they had the nails did, they got the toes did, and they had their bags and their cars, and they didn't have any money. And the one thing that I will say that happened to me, which was the best thing, going through all like my relationship challenges and then eventually getting divorced and being a single mom, I grew up with not a lot of money. My mother was on welfare for like, I'm not ashamed to say that, and hopefully if she hears that that's part of my story, so I don't mind sharing that. But it got me from there to here, and it's so all my life I've always been a person who really looks at money and says, like, how important is the money? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you going to use your money? Now, when I became a teenager, like my daughter is 18, at her age, I got a really great job and I freaked out and I just went crazy. But then, and then in my first marriage, I became a shopaholic, but that was to mask some challenges I had, right? So we went into debt. We had to go through bankruptcy. I took my ex-husband through some stuff, and that was just because of the other stuff. Fast forward, once I had my children, that was my learning lesson. And I see that you're doing that you see what's important in life. And so, when I talk about, like, everybody has their own thing. So when I talk about, like, us not celebrating Christmas and all that, the reason why is because the things that are important in life, we had those things. And my children didn't know how I was struggling behind the scenes. There were days that I cried a lot. I worked 2 jobs, 6 days a week, and I was hustling on the side. And when I talk about, I was telling the story the other day, right, about like, on Rhonda's, and I say this all the time, there's no excuse. You can make money anywhere, right? You can make money if you really put your mind to it. And I lived in the city. I could have did all kinds of stuff, but I didn't. I took what I had, and I said, like I said, so I took the director of one of the programs, look, can I just make some cakes and put a table outside? And I went to a church. It was like 1,500 people. Can you imagine 1,500 people rushing out and wanting cakes and cookies and stuff? You can make some money. And I love that. And I love that you're doing that, because I didn't think about doing that years ago, but that's all I could do was budget. And so as single moms, I think it's really pivotal time for people to do it. And I think anyone, especially with what people are going through now. So how can you go from 2 jobs to 1 job? Right? So Nicki can help you budget. You can just look at her budget. You can go back to her IGTV lives and look how she just breaks her budget down. It's so simplistic. It's not like we make it harder on ourselves than we have to. And I know if I could do it with 5 children, man, like I could take a $20 bill and make that sucker scream. And just because you can stretch it so far, you know what I'm saying? Have you had those days? Because you're going to have good times, right? And bad times. And just like you said, broke is just temporary. You just said that broke is just a temporary situation, state of mind. And the last thing I'm going to say is, no, that's not the last thing, but like, Terry asked an interesting question yesterday when we were on Rhonda's live, and she had said to me, like, if money wasn't an issue, what would I do? And I said, one, I would, both of my parents are still here. I'm still thankful for that. They're married to different people. I have step parents, and I would pay off any bills they have. I would want to pay off their houses. I would make sure they don't have any debt. When you get to a certain place in life, you talk about like your mom. I want to make sure my parents have nothing. And I also want to be able to put some money in the bank for them. Bam. Because my dad lives on a pension. My stepfather's a chef, so he still works. My mother and my stepfather are younger than my father. My father just turned 70 something. I don't want to say that just in case he's watching, but that's my goal. And then have some money for my children in the bank, not give them money, not let them know that their money is there. But the first time they talk about, yeah, we want to come home. What you need? That would be my goal. And so I'm going to share here. Terry actually sent me a DM, and she said, no, what would you do for yourself? And I said to her, I am very simplistic. Wow. I am simplistic. I don't require anything. I'm 51 years old. And I will tell you real quick, I didn't know home until I met my husband, right? and you've probably experienced it. You just went through a loss. I did not know home until I met my husband. And home is not a place. Home is a state of mind. I've been divorced twice. I had issues. I didn't have a good childhood. My husband Thomas, partial due to X, is the only person who's ever seen me. And we rent this house, so that's just to go prove to you. Home. We came here, and he treats me like better than anyone else has treated me. And so all I want is to have a home, a car I can drive, and maybe travel on occasion. I'm a homebody. I don't need a fancy bag. I don't need anything expensive. I talked about this on my Joe Mar unboxing of bags yesterday. I've only had one expensive designer bag in my life. When I turned 18, had a good job, I went crazy and bought a $500 Gucci bag. And I used that Gucci bag every day because it was $500. People are like, girl, why don't you? I'm like, why? I'm going to use this thing every day. Took it to Macy's. I tore that thing up, took it to Macy's. They fixed it under the insurance. But that's how I am. T-shirt, jeans, Converse. I buy my jeans at Walmart, baby, because they fit me good. And that's, if you know what you value in life, that's it. Why do I have to have stuff? Stuff will not, when I go on to the Father, the stuff will still be here. So I just want simplistic stuff. For my business, I do treat myself to buy a MacBook. I mean, I cringed, but it's been such the best tool for my business. This phone is a tool for my business. This is my video camera. It's all my apps. So this is how I look at that stuff, you know. And so what you're doing, I think, is a beautiful thing. You're going to help people actually get out of their own way. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. If I could just tell that to myself.
Girl, let me tell you something. Wait, because you were shopping. So, because what is the platform my daughter was shopping too? What's the platform you were shopping on? That every time you turned around, you were buying something?
Oh, Fashion Nova.
Fashion Nova. It's very addicting, I'm sure, right? But you don't do that anymore.
I haven't been on there at all in a long time.
It's all growing. We all grow. We all go through growing pains. Age does not define the decisions that you make. They get better, but at 51, I still make decisions. But now I'll think a little bit quicker than I did before, because I when you're young, you don't think of any consequences or anything that happened. But by the time you get my age, you got to think about, like, if I do that, then I'm not going to eat, you know, or whatever, you know, because just like you said, money. Look, I've been through it all. I've been on welfare and all that stuff. I'm not ashamed to say that, and I talk about that stuff because I want people to understand that I am no different than anybody else. You know, I just make a little bit smarter decisions, and I'm just happy to be here most of the time, you know. So, yeah, you know what, Domingo, he said, you guys got to wait. First of all, I'm going to go back to Domingo. Thrifting ain't easy. Domingo, he's a good friend of Thomas. He lives local here in Delaware, and he and Thomas met at the Goodwill Bins. I believe that's how they met. And he is a local pastor here in Delaware, but he has a YouTube channel. Check it out. Lots of views, but he's funny. This thing he did in the sauna the other day had me cracking up, but he's really funny. And he knows a lot about, like, reselling, and he cooks. He used to have I think he still has a cooking channel. Domingo, drop your cooking channel down there. So he's really funny, but he says, I love Mac. Once you go Mac, you never go back. Oh my gosh. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. He says, what do you say? I always say we create money. God created us to have dominion. We often live beneath our potential. Yes. And that's the key right there. We actually stun our own growth. And it's also the words that we speak, right? Because you can be hung by the tongue. You know, it's power, life and death are in the power of the tongue. So every time you speak it, you either speak life in yourself or death into yourself. And that's why when I talk to you, I say I'm always going to speak life. Sometimes we don't believe in ourselves. So I'm here to help you believe in yourself as much as you can. It took me a long time to get here. And I just said that on Rhonda's yesterday, that if somebody like Nicki actually affirmed for me, she showed up, and she may not think this, but that's why I keep loving on her, because she showed up at a time for me when I was starting to have doubts about the stuff that I was doing on Instagram. And she was talking up. she probably says my name on every live, and I don't pay her for that or anything like that. This is not scripted, but she'll say, and I was like, wow, it's for me, it's just a powerful thing because I show up as me every single day. I can't be anybody else but me, right? Like if you look at me, and I've said this before, people they get offended because I'm bald, and I'm like, like people amaze it, but we learned the stuff that people just the DMs I get amaze me. But why are you offended? But this is me, you know. God knew eventually I would lose my hair, but he did it in such a way that I had to embrace myself. And he also put a man into my life. Not that Thomas makes a difference, but he embraced that. You know, anytime he can, he's rubbing my head and you know, so that right there is affirming enough. And so we have to believe in ourselves. He does. I think it's like, like he's like, oh my gosh, you have such a great head, you know. But I think you just need to believe and know who you are. And sometimes there are people who come into your life to speak that life into you when you don't believe in yourself, you know. So I'm here to hold you up, but you do help me with that because you said like, wow, I saw Leslie and she wasn't wearing makeup or anything like that. Yeah. I'm gonna keep showing up like that. I'm gonna keep showing up like that because that's who I am. I keep telling y'all can go out there and you know I can see like yeah you can go live and for a little bit you can go on people's shows and stuff like that. I'll put a little earrings on. I put earrings on from Ronnie yesterday and some little Vaseline on my lips. Oh my gosh, let me stop. Okay. So Domingo says real home cooking is his cooking channel and Michelle says, yes, I'm very simplistic. My happiness comes from things that are not tangible. My happiness comes from love. Yes, Michelle, that was beautiful. I'm waiting for your book or something to come out too, Michelle. I'm waiting for Michelle to do some stuff. I'm gonna leave Michelle alone. So it says, get your jeans at the bins and you can get kinds of jeans. Oh, okay, from Wal. No, I'm not going to be sorting through the bin. At least at Walmart, I can go to my size and I can find what I'm looking for. And I'm not dealing with the bins. Our bins is crazy. So yeah, Vaseline, you know Vaseline now. Come on now. It's good. Look, it's lotion, it's lip gloss. You can grease yourself up just in case you need to fight, you know, pull the earrings off. You know, come on, I'm from Philly. No, seriously. Okay, so if anybody has any questions for Nicki, ask them now. We're having so much fun. You know, we're not going to rush off because Nicki's a personal friend, unless she has to go. Let's see. What's Chrissy saying? Yes, I'm quick to purchase for business, but personally don't want anything. Exactly. I see it as like, that's why I play around with Christy because she's got like, what, 2 storage rooms, Christy? Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to for Christy, Nicki. We're going to put the budget. We're gonna say, look, put your budget down on paper. What's going on? No. So what's going forward for you? What do you want to do after? So January, you want to do some consultations, and maybe you might change your mind and see that there's some other stuff. So I'm glad you're giving yourself time for that. I don't even know if that's the question I want to ask. How do your children feel about everything that you're doing? Like your daughter, she's 17.
Well, my daughter, yeah, she's 17. My daughter, she works, so she really don't be studying me. But I tried to get her into reselling because I thought that maybe we can kind of, do some things together, go out shopping together. But that is not something that she wants to do, and I don't want to kind of force that on her. But I do kind of tell her or encourage her to kind of start her own business because she knows how to do hair. So she's, she has a few clients that comes over and she does her friend's hair. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe you can make this out of a business and you don't have to work for anyone. But right now she's still trying to get into the, working world. So she's only 17. She's not worrying about me. But my son, he wants to be up under me. He don't mind carrying the packages. He don't mind coming over to help me take my pictures. He don't care about all of that. So I think that's going to be my little helper.
Yeah.
my
Yeah, and that's
son.
good. And the thing about that is when they're young like that, you can make it fun. And then eventually your daughter, she'll figure out what she wants to do. Hair, man, you can go do a lot with that. People are always, that's why they have the Votech school. So everything that they teach at a Votech, those are the life trades. Because my daughter went to a Votech and she's a CNA. She's at work now and she's a certified nursing assistant. And she was certified at 16. These Votech, cosmetology, what's it, car service, daycare, all of these things, food service, all of these things that they teach at Votech are the things we need in life. So that's the thing. So even if you don't go to
Right.
college, you go to
Yeah.
vocation. And Thomas's niece is proof of that. She started doing, she locks, she does dreadlocks. And they live in North Carolina, and she just started doing that.
Yeah.
And then she started getting featured. Her friends were just taking pictures. She got started getting featured in magazines. And she went to cosmetology school. She didn't have to do that. And so they took, she actually has what I want. People call it like a she shed, but they took a shed. Her mother knows people. They actually they put electricity in it. It's right at the back of their house. Put electricity in it. It's an air condition. You walk inside. It looks like a shed on the outside. Inside, it is a salon. She's got the chairs and the mirrors and everything. And she's a young lady. I think she's only 25 now. But yes, so you never know where things can take you as a little hobby. And she did that for years. She just on her own decided to go to cosmetology because she really didn't have to. But then in 9 months, you've got like a certificate for what you're already doing, you know? So I say electrician, plumber. Thank you, Christy, because I'm married. My ex-husband is a plumber. His brother's an electrician, and they have a business in Philly. So for you, McCall Plumbing, Christy, if you ever need a plumber, we're still good friends. So there's I can put that shout out there. But definitely, I was just curious because we never talk about. I was like, wow, I wonder what they think is going. Well, I already know MJ. We already see MJ. He on the scene. He always checking things out. He he come up there in a little bit until you see him, and he's like, do I really? There's too many of them. Yeah, he probably could do, but then like all those people. So I think you're really setting a great example for them, and going forward they should have like a great experience with money. I think that's what we should teach our children. We stop waiting for the school to teach our children all the things that they need to know. Teach them money, like starting, even if you don't get into investments yet, at least teach them how to have a checking account, a savings account, and paying themselves. When all my children were teenagers, we opened up accounts. And I took my youngest daughter, she was 15, and at the bank they were like, well, is she gonna have a checking account? Yeah. Why would she have a checking account? She got a job, and it's the same account that she's had. And why not? And she puts money into her savings, direct deposit. Of course, she needs a checking account, but that was just, I was like, but because they asked me and they're a bank, that means a lot. That says a lot, right? That we're not teaching our children how to handle money and how to have bank accounts. And I think all of that starts at home. And also, are your children going to mimic a lot of things that you do, regardless of what you say? If they see you spending right, then you can't tell them anything. You can't say to them, oh, you got a job, don't spend your money, if they see packages coming in all the time. Wendy Span, it's okay that you're late. Hello, friend. I'm so glad you made it. I love you. So where do you see yourself going? What is your goal for 2021, aside from maybe doing private consultations? For you personally, first of all, what is like your goal?
Well, for 2021, I want to go ahead and pay off all of my credit cards and my loans. So then I will only have just my student loans to work on, and then after the student loans, I'll be debt free. But I also want to actually start a podcast. I'm thinking nothing, making it fun, but it's just gonna be like a dear diary, like just my journey of all of this becoming debt free. Just nothing really big about it, but that's just one of my goals as well. I just want to get on there and just maybe on my way to work, just sharing how I'm feeling.
Reminder paper. Yeah, we got a delay. So.
What happened?
Put it down. It says podcast. November 19th is when you told me you want to start a podcast. I see you.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I just want to just get on there and just share my journey in just voice form, and just just talk really, isn't it? I don't have any strategies just yet, but that's just one of my goals to start a podcast next year as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see you starting a podcast. It's really simple, right? If Danielle is still here, it doesn't take a lot. I could definitely help you with that. I think I'm probably going to do a YouTube video. I'll see. I have an ebook I'm working on too. So, but podcast is very simple. It doesn't take a whole lot. Hello, Charlene, just join us. Hello, friends. Does anybody have any questions for Nicki? We are at the wind down period. So you did say you were going to go to one of my favorite places, which is Cancun, Mexico. You're planning a trip there.
Yeah, I'm going there in May.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. You go to the all inclusive. I forget where we stayed. Oh my gosh, that was only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing how time goes by at the all inclusive and eat like crazy.
Yeah, I think we're staying at something Temptation something. I'll have to look back at the itinerary.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And remember, we were talking about like I don't know like what your trip, but we went to see like the ruins. We every time I go on those trips, like I was saying with Vegas, I did a bus trip. You can and I planned everything ahead of time because you can do it when you get there. But I just wanted to make sure my trips were paid, so we picked one day, and we in Vegas we went to the Hoover Dam and the Grand Canyon. That was an all day bus trip, all you can eat and the whole deal. So that was great. And the same thing with Cancun, they have bus trips to different places, and you stop at the buffet and eat and everything. That was fantastic. We went to the Aztec ruins. And so that was really nice. But it's a lot that you can do on these trips. So I'm excited to, you're going to need a vacation. That'll be nice. Somebody said wine. So it says, when is it appropriate to go in debt for a business? I have money in my savings, but have debt for buying inventory.
I never go in debt for my business. I'm sorry. If the money is not there, I don't go shopping basically because I'm already in debt. I'm not trying to add to the debt. You have the money in your savings. If you have the money in your savings, why you're not using it is my
Yeah.
question for you.
Mhm. And the key, because I can speak for myself, is you should have a separate account for your business, and the money that you make from your business should go into your account, and that should be the money that you use to reinvest back into your business. I don't take any money out of my home, out of the money that Thomas and I share. All the money that I make gets reinvested. So the money that I make is the money that I use to buy anything. I just bought some lights for my business. I just bought a MacBook. I um, updated my iPad. That is money that I make in my business, and I have separate accounts for that don't have anything to do with our household because we're going to be moving to a new state and a new house and everything. So you should never go into debt. Someone else, like, everybody's thing is different. Like, I wouldn't take out a loan. Like, even with the businesses that I'm trying to plan, I'm never taking out a business loan. If I can't pay for it, then I don't need it, and that needs to be put on hold. Right now it's such crazy times, so inventory, really just think about where you're shopping. Like, go to the sales, get all the color sales, find yourself some bins, find next door, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, free inventory. There's so many places you can get inventory that you should never go into debt for your inventory. It's really important. If you especially, and that's for all the toys and stuff too, like I was telling Nicki when we came on, my every time my husband comes in my office, I have something new, but I budget for that, and I told him, I was like, because I had like a little Amazon addiction. But I said, now I'm only shopping on Amazon for once a month. I'll put it on my list of things that I want. So I'll have like some personal stuff because I get my coffee from Amazon. I get a couple other things, and then it may be one business thing that I want. And then once a month from now on, I'll just make that one-time purchase, and that's it. Like, I just purchased my husband a thermal printer for his birthday, and he's in love with that thing. So yes.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll go back to Grace Ma again. Easier to track, and also that expenses of interest can be used for taxes versus taking out cash versus personal expenses. Yeah, I don't use personal expenses, and again, I have separate accounts. So it's you definitely want to do that. So what are you saying? He says, FYI, I got a HyperX Quadcast mic, and it's the best sounding mic I've ever had. I like it better than the Blue Yeti. Yeah, the Blue Yetis are kind of expensive anyway, so I have my little Fi-Fi. I got my mic right there. I got all the stuff that I need to have for like my podcast and everything. It says, so Wendy says, Nicki, when are you launching the first podcast? That's right. See, I'm telling you, Wendy is my accountability person. I talk for her.
Well, I have it on my calendar. I have it on my calendar for my first episode to be December 29th. So that's what I have on my calendar so far.
Okay. So you said December 29th?
Mm.
So I'll be like, Nicki, December 29th is rolling around. So everybody heard that she has it on her calendar. So let me tell you what that means. So she wrote the vision, right? She wrote the vision down. Now she's going to see it every day. So she should be running with that vision. And I'm there to keep her accountable. So, but people keep me, like even Michelle called me out yesterday on Rhonda's on Brunch with Diva, talking about, so how about a dessert ebook? Yeah, y'all, you should be days. I hear you. I see Daniela had a comment, but I'm trying to go down here. So debit is via credit card. I don't know specifically what you're asking you. Okay. I'm trying to get, it says, I am hoping to be able to go to Ireland. Ireland is my trip. It's actually on my vision board. Hey, we might be able to meet my Butler family. We have a reunion every 3 years. I try every month. Where do you go, Holly? That is my trip. Ireland is the trip of my dreams. I'm trying to go and just hit Dublin and everywhere, sounds really nice. I love it. Cool. So wait, somebody. Hey, Vasquez Vintage, what's going on? Is this Melissa I'm talking to? What's going on, friend? Yes, I wrote it down. So today she said she was on the podcast, and I wrote it down. It says December 29th. Y'all think I'm playing? Listen, we have to keep each other accountable. And that keeps us honest, that keeps us on track. And it's like, that's what it's all about. If Nicki didn't want me to say anything, I want her to tell me that she don't want me to say anything. Yeah, so look. Boom. See? I'm not by myself. Boom. See? Ha! That's Mama Wendy right there and spoke. For real though, for real. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more. Any last questions for Nicki? Nicki is like super phenomenal. If you're not following Nicki, you should be. Here on YouTube, she just started a YouTube channel. She's getting her feel of it, but she already showing off because she got the videos looking nice with the nice light. She got the banner and the thumbnail is on point. It took me like a long time to get it together. I'm like, okay, but so we want to really support Nicki. When she has time, she'll do her videos and everything. It's all coming into fruition, all the things that she wants to accomplish. Okay, I just want to see. Okay, so no one else has any questions. Anything you want to say to the community? Say something quick about budgeting. What do you have? What do you have for us?
Well, I just want everyone to just start now with the budgeting. You don't have to wait until the first of the year or the beginning of the month. Just go ahead and start with what you have right now. If you have $100 in your pocket, budget that $100 out. Where do you want to put that $100? What do you want to spend it on? Because I'm finding that we're spending a lot of money on things that we do not even remember where they went. So with whatever you have right now today, go ahead and plan for that money to go somewhere.
Cool. We have 2 questions. It's Melissa.
You can start today.
What about reselling keeps you motivated, Nicki?
Actually, just making the money and throwing it towards the debt is what keeps me motivated. Lately, I have not been motivated. Don't get me wrong. This week has been a hard week. I'm not sure what is going on. My momentum is just not there. But today I did get some photographing in, and I did get back into the swing of things because I'm finding myself going back into that depressed stage, and I'm just trying to get out this bed and get up and do some things, get out, go shopping, get some fresh air and all of that stuff. But I'm getting back in the momentum of things. But yes, definitely making the money because I have took a big hit. I'm not making what I normally know I could make, and it shows because I haven't been listing. I haven't been sharing as much as I normally would be doing. So I got to get back in the game. So yep, making the money is what definitely keep me motivated, and knowing that I can use that extra cash to pay off debt.
Yeah, that money is a big motivator, whether it be positive or negative. But one thing I want to say to you, don't get down on yourself. You've been through a lot this year. You've endured more than a lot of people can handle. And that's where you allow yourself grace and allow yourself those times to either mourn or do whatever it needs to you to find that space in your head. Because if everything's all, garbled up, you can't do anything. I had to take a day off this week. I literally just stayed in the bed all day. I got up to do a couple things and I just stayed in my bed all day. And sometimes we have to do that. That's when we allow ourselves, our body gets to a point of breakdown. And to say from the outside looking in, you're enduring, and it being in your private, you being in my private group, I know a lot of what you're going through. So I say, just allow yourself grace. You are continually in our prayers. Our loving arms are around you. And if you need us, we're here, especially when it comes to any type of sharing your closet, whatever. So don't, you're going to have those moments and you need to feel it. And I talk about that all the time, right? If you're going through it, feel it all, feel it. That means you're here. That means you are still here. You're still present. You're still in this moment. And we just have to take each moment that we can. One more time, a couple now just questions. Nick, I saw one from the chat went quick. Okay, there it is. Nicki, what's your immediate plan to start your next project? Wendy came in late, so let's.
Well, my next project, I was gonna be working on like a group coaching Facebook group thing, but I've put that on pause for right now because, of course, with the post office next month, we're really after Black Friday. Everything is gonna be getting a little bit hectic, so I'm not gonna have a lot of time to really focus on a Facebook group. So I'm putting that on hold. I probably would say maybe like mid-January or maybe beginning February. I'm gonna start the group, so that way, really all of January, I can take the time to actually create a plan on what I want to actually share in it, how I want to run it, and things like that. So I would say maybe February is probably a good time for me to go ahead and start that Facebook group and just try to get people to actually talk about their debt. Because another thing, I don't know if anyone on here knows, but my boyfriend, he actually passed, and a lot of things that's going on in my head has me thinking that it was because of a money situation and all of his finances and things like that. And I just want people to have a safe space to talk about those issues so that they don't have to suffer in silence, because it's more than just you out there that's in debt. I'm in 5 figures worth of debt and I'm paying it off a little at a time. And I just want other people to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So don't get overwhelmed by the number amount, but just kind of work out a plan and create a plan to get it paid down. And that's what I'm here to help you do.
Well, as soon as she said there's light at the end of the tunnel, I got like goosebumps. And men definitely handle things differently because, they definitely handle things because they're the heads of the household. So money to them, what women look at are different. They think about the children and like emotional things and things like that. And men, it's the money for them. So we definitely, but we're here for you. I'm going to say one more time. So it says, understandably, Abby and I recently started our debt-free journey, the Dave Ramsey snowball thing. 2 debts paid off in the last 10 days. Feels good to knock them out and know where the money is going. Definitely. One of the things I will say before we go, I definitely think it's just really just strive to pay off your debt. Don't worry about the things. I'm really big on not worrying about the things. You can sell, you can take, I don't care if you have an Android phone, I don't care if your phone is 5 years old. You can take that phone, and this is all you need. Take some photos, list that stuff. Nicki will tell you she works for the post office. Get you some free packages, especially if you stick to Poshmark. Poshmark, if you're just going to sell on Poshmark, man, get those, all that's free stuff from the post office. I just ordered some of my stuff because Thomas and I both use those things. But also for all the other platforms, make sure you have enough so as you sell. But like, you don't need a lot of stuff. Don't get caught up in that. 2020 has been a beast. Okay, it has been a beast. It came in roaring. It was no, coming in like a lion and going out like a lamb. It's been roaring all year long. It's been challenges we've all been experiencing. Your story is no less important than somebody else's, and we've all been through some things. So give yourself grace. Now, so I'm going to end, and I want Nicki to know that I love her and I appreciate you. I validate you. I believe in you. I see you, sis. And I'm always going to speak life into you, and I'm always going to speak life into everyone else, even to the point that I might drain myself a little bit, but God sent me here to just be me, and that's all I can be. And just allow yourself grace. That's for everybody. I know people are going through stuff. People send me messages, and just feel it. The feeling part, and I mean, that may sound stupid to you, but if you feel it, that means you're here, you're present, and just take one moment at a time. Try not to do so many things. Live in that moment, because tomorrow's not promised anyway. We can walk out the door and that could be it. So just live in the time that we have, one moment at a time. Okay, step out of your comfort zone, find peace and faith wherever you can. And, I was like, I tell my family, wherever I am, there's love. I love you guys. And of course, do the thing that you think that you cannot do. Push yourself every single day. You can't succeed if you don't fail. You can't grow anyway if you don't fail. So fail forward. And that just requires you to keep going. You trip, you stand back up and you keep going. You fall down, you stand back up and you keep going. It's when you stay down that you're defeated. Okay. And don't let your family tell you that you're nothing. You're more than enough. And my daily, I don't know who here believes anything, but my daily is I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. That's me every single day. So continue to fail forward, friends. I appreciate everyone for taking time.